The stories you're about to see are real. The rewards up to $5 million are real. This is Augusta Crime Stoppers, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office still needs your help finding the black mail financial transaction card fraud you see on your screen. This black mail entered Central Express at 2061 Central Avenue, Augusta on 10/7 at 1500 hours and used a stolen credit card to purchase goods. Case number 14-274160. If you think you know where this slender black male, who is a suspected financial transaction card fraud, may be, please call investigator Nathan Regendez at 706-821-1097. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding this heavy-set black female you see on your screen. She's suspected of committing financial transaction card fraud. Case reference number 15063929. The Criminal Investigation Division of the Technical Crimes Section says that this black female walked into a store and used someone else's credit card or debit card number to use their credit or their money to purchase items. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office is requesting the public's assistance in locating this suspect who committed the offense of financial transaction card fraud at Walgreens, 3204 Peach Orchard Road, and the Dollar General at 3120 Peach Orchard Road, Augusta. Any help apprehending this suspect would be greatly appreciated. If you think you know who or where this heavy-set black female may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office investigator Jimmy Wren at 706-821-1020. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office reports about $2,000 worth of copper wire was stolen from two mobile homes Wednesday on the 3600 block of Peach Orchard Road. The victim said the copper wire was taken from a couple of mobile homes. Deputies did not see any damage or break-in evidence, but they did see that the wire had been cut from underneath both of the mobile homes. If you think you know who or where these copper wire thieves may be, please call the police before they cut your copper wire out. Copper wire thieves are cutting the lightning protection out of local telephone poles. The little copper wire that forms the ground to telephone poles keeps your entire neighborhood electrical system from catching the lightning and feeding it into your home, which is why so many homes burned down before we began putting copper grounds. So if you know where any copper thieves are, they're the most dangerous type, and their thefts have resulted in a tremendous amount of homes being burned to the ground and a lot of deaths. So stealing copper is not the little crime somebody may think it may be. If you think you know who or where these copper thieves may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. Or you remain anonymous, keep your entire neighborhood from getting electrocuted and maybe your house being burnt down, and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office reports 8 vacant townhomes were broken into recently. The report says a suspect broke into the back, either busting the glass or removing doorknobs, and left the door wide open. A witness says about 3 or 4 nights ago, around the time this happened, 2 guys were walking from there late at night with duffel bags. "Well, why didn't you call the cops? Duh." The police report says they stole an air conditioning unit, 2 refrigerators, and a stove. Those are some duffel bags. The dollar amount of what was stolen was around $1,200, but the thieves will likely only get a couple of $100 or less for risking jail. This isn't the only theft this week. Another rental property says copper was stolen from them too. The landlord of that property says damage from those thefts totaled more than $7,000. This is why Augusta Crime Stoppers and Crime Reports and Rewards is working day and night to get the message out that no matter how much we spend and raise taxes, it won't do any good, because many of the things we invest in for future are getting stolen before anyone has a chance to get a return on them. This is causing money to go to other things instead of creating jobs that create the tax base all government employees live off of. If you know who or where the suspects that burglarized these homes may be, please call Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or email your tips to tips@AugustaCrimeStoppers.org, where you remain anonymous and keep your metal.
As copper prices go through the roof, more and more copper wire is being targeted by thieves in raids across country New South Wales. It's an easy, almost foolproof way of making quick cash. But that is coming to an end thanks to new technology being introduced by power supplier Country Energy.
You simply spray, tape, and check, and suddenly this $3,000 reel of copper wire is safe and coded as Country Energy property.
Basically what it is, it's a forensic identifier. It's clear spray that we can spray on the surface of copper or tools or computers or absolutely anything. We can then identify that actual product with a reader.
Today in Wagga, the company behind the technology showed its newest customers, Country Energy, how it all works. It's a quick process, and over the next few days in Wagga, they'll spray around 5,000 items, things like copper wire and tools that can be easily pinched. And apparently it's just as quick to track down the offenders.
It's a 2-second process of us actually finding the product, putting the reader on the surface, pressing a button, and we can identify the copper.
2 seconds. Maybe, maybe not.
Putting it to work now.
But rest assured, would-be thieves, the system did work, eventually. And lucky for Country Energy, they've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars of copper wire.
Probably over the last 6 months we've had about over a dozen break-ins across the region in smaller field service centres as well as the larger ones like this.
Country Energy won't divulge how much this magic spray is costing its customers, but says the price is relative to the problem. The spray has already been used at similar service depots in Grafton and Dubbo, and Country Energy will consider its use on substation equipment in the near future. Melinda Hayter, Prime News.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding 2 suspects accused of breaking into a home in Augusta at the 2800 block of Cranbrook Drive and stealing nearly $9,000 worth of items from the home. The victims report that someone broke a window with a brick to get into their home. Then they took $5,500 in electronics, $2,500 in jewelry, and an almost $1,000 military-style body armor chest protector. The suspects are described as 2 black males, both around 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. In other words, two skinny black males. One black male suspect had a tattoo of the word King, K-I-N-G, tattooed on his right hand. If you think you know who or where two 6 foot tall, 150 pound, skinny black males, one with a tattoo of the word King on his right hand may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. Where you remain anonymous, keep burglars out of your home, keep your stuff, and get paid. On Sunday, April 19th, at approximately 1828 hours, the Richmond County Sheriff's Office received a call to the 1200 block of Holden Drive in reference to a home invasion. Upon arrival, contact was made with a 72-year-old female and a 49-year-old female, both victims in this incident, who were inside their residence when they heard a knock at the door. The two female victims stated that two unknown black males entered their residence. The first black male was described as approximately 5'5" to 5'8", and had a slender build and was wearing a dark hoodie with a black bandana over his face. He was armed with an unknown type handgun. The second black male was described as 6 foot in height with a thick build, and both black males appeared to be between 25 to 30 years old. The subjects then demanded money. During this time, a 53-year-old female neighbor, also from the 1200 block of Holden Drive, came to visit her friends at the incident location and happened upon the crime in progress. That neighbor was then forced into the residence, and at the point of a gun, all three females were bound. The two unknown suspects then fled on foot in an unknown direction with an undetermined amount of the ladies' cash and their most valuable personal effects. This incident is still under investigation. If you think you know who or where these 25 to 30-year-old black males may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. Where you remain anonymous, keep home invaders out of your home, and get paid. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a home invasion on Jackson Road Monday, December 15th. Deputies were dispatched to the home invasion around 10:30 p.m. on Monday, but no more information as to who may have been injured or how many home invaders there may have been has been released since. Home invasions are on the rise. The lie told about the economy getting better may be true about all the money being sucked into D.C., but across the nation folks are going homeless and hungry. Plus, some looters are just looting for the loot of it. Beef up your doors with a steel strip right across where the bolt goes into the frame so they can't just kick it in with one swift kick. Laura Warren of Channel 12 News, WRDW, wants to interview you if you have been a victim of a home invasion, and AugustaCrimeStoppers.org will install the steel strip on your door while she's doing it, so the next home invader has a much harder time getting in on top of you to violate you so fast. If you know who or where this home invader or home invaders may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and stop home invaders. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding the two black female shoplifters who assaulted some officers at the Augusta Mall. On April 13th at 8:07 p.m. at the Dillards located in the Augusta Mall, 3450 Wrightsboro Road, Augusta, two black female subjects were seen concealing several Polo brand shirts in a Macy's bag and attempted to leave without paying for the items. The females were stopped by the employees of the store. The two female suspects then assaulted the officers and fled the store in a white four-door sedan. The first black female is approximately 5'5", 140 pounds, has black hair, was last seen wearing a yellow shirt and blue jeans. The second black female was approximately 5'5", 150 pounds, with black braided hair, last seen wearing a white shirt and blue jeans. If you think you know who or where these younger black female shoplifters who assaulted two officers at the Dillards at Augusta Mall may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744. Where you remain anonymous, keep prices low, keep our officers from being assaulted, and get paid. 17-year-old public school student Joshua Mormon is accused of killing 54-year-old Leonel Vasquez Calvo by stomping on his face with his boots until he was dead. If you watched Augusta Crime Stoppers TV a couple of weeks ago, you found us asking for more patrols in the River Glen area due to the fact that there are 20 to 25-year-old drug and theft houses or fencing operations that burglars steal from your home and go to that area and fence the stolen items they're stealing from all over the CSRA for drugs, cash, guns, EBT money, and things such as that. No one was able to share with the community why these known illegal houses have been able to flourish and do business for 25 years. Now, after this illegal culture of violence, drugs, guns, theft, and all types of crimes, it has caused the individuals in this area to become extremely violent, resulting in more thefts, assaults, murders, and such in one small area of Augusta than any other area of the CSRA. 17-year-old Joshua Mormon, who was exposed to the culture emanating from these 20-year-old drug houses, stomped the man's face in for unknown reasons at this time. Mormon is pictured in a 2013 image from one of his Facebook pages shooting a bird holding a bunch of cash. Both pages include images of making obscene gestures. On one page from 2011, he calls himself Cool Kid and a street in. The Augusta community can no longer understand why 20 and 25-year-old known illegal operations, organized crime, thugs, gangs, drugs, guns, stolen items, stolen cars, prostitution are allowed to go unchecked for decades in one area without anybody seemingly doing anything to try to close these terrible operations that have produced this violent killer down. No one seems to understand why none of the authorities that are getting millions to close down illegal operations like this did anything at all to stop the brutal beating death of this victim when we asked them to please close these operations down. The entire city of Augusta is asking the authorities to please close these 20 to 25-year-old illegal houses down. They're causing a culture that is getting people killed, and we asked them in time to prevent the death of this man, but now this man has been brutally beaten to death after there was plenty of time to save his life. The deadly gangster culture that is allowed to flourish in that area is causing many deaths, an enormous amount of crime, a fantastic amount of cost on the neighborhood and the community, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it. When we looked around for patrol cars being parked outside these high crime areas, we found patrols and patrol cars parked right outside the municipal building where there is no crime, and no patrol cars and nobody trying to stop the herds of violent, mean, well-armed, nasty, well-known criminals. Nobody we saw was trying to stop them from committing all these crimes, which are the hotbed of most of the burglaries throughout the CSRA. In that area, many individuals sleep all day and get on the bus routes just as the last bus is riding, and ride that bus out to areas all over the CSRA and burglarize houses. Then they hide, many times, they hide the stolen items in locations, call somebody, says, hey, I got a bunch of stolen items, come pick me up with a car, and we'll go to the fencing operations that line East Boundary and that area, East Telfair, East Walker, and they trade those burglarized items for small amounts of cash, drugs, guns, pornography, and women. If you become aware of a dangerous person who is talking smack about killing others and has a gun and is violent and mean and nasty and is seen breathing threats against others, bullying others and such as, or beating them to death, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous, stop people from being stomped to death, and get paid. Lieutenant Alan Rollins of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office reports that Richmond County Sheriff's deputies are currently looking for 2 black males that robbed the Family Dollar at 2028 Central Avenue Thursday. Witnesses identified 2 black male suspects entered the business armed with a silver pistol and a sawed-off shotgun. The suspects fled on foot towards Walton Way after demanding and receiving an undisclosed amount of money. Both suspects were wearing dark clothing and hoodies. If you think you know who or where these suspects are, please refer to case number 15-13-6173. There is no other description at this time. Further details will be forthcoming if you go to our AugustaCrimeStoppers.org Facebook page. If you think you know who or where these robbers may be, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous, keep robbers out of your Family Dollar, and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding the tattooed white male you see on your screen. On April 13th at approximately 1200 hours, a white male subject entered the K's Stop and Shop located at 1902 Windsor Springs Road, took 3 bags of snacks, and left the store without paying. The subject was last seen fleeing on a bicycle eastbound on Windsor Springs Road. The subject is late 20s to early 30s, was last seen wearing dark shorts, dark tennis shoes, a blue and white horizontal striped pullover shirt, and a white baseball cap with unknown markings and tattoos on his left arm. If you think you know who or where this tattooed, skinny, younger white male may be, please call Deputy Angela Gates at the Property Crimes Division of the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1020. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous, keep prices low, and get paid. Richmond County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Michael Shane McDaniel Sr. reports on Monday, April 20th at approximately 2:06 p.m. Richmond County Sheriff's deputies answered a call to the Dragons Expressway located at 2174 Gordon Highway in regards to an attempted armed robbery. Preliminary investigation revealed that two unidentified black male suspects entered the incident location through the back door of the restaurant brandishing weapons. The suspects began demanding cash from the employees. Further investigation revealed that a cook as well as a customer from the restaurant chased the armed suspects back out the back door, where the two suspects fled the scene in what appears to be a white in color, possibly Honda Civic, last known going in an unknown direction. If you think you know the identity of the two suspects or know where the suspect vehicle may be, please call the Richmond County Sheriff's Office at 706-821-1080. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744. Where you remain anonymous, keep bad guys from interrupting your dinner, and get paid. The Richmond County Sheriff's deputies are investigating who stole DVD equipment and seats from charter buses at Lewis Bus Line. Lewis Bus Lines called the police to their bus business at 4156 Mike Paget Highway Monday after they discovered the theft. According to Lewis Bus Line, 28 DVD monitors, 6 DVD players, and 2 cloth-covered seats from 10 different buses parked on the property were taken. The Lewis Bus Line employee estimated the theft may have taken place since March 30th. He stated drivers and employees have access to the buses at all times. An officer did not observe any signs of forced entry to any of the buses. If you think you know who stole 28 DVD monitors, 6 DVD players, and 2 cloth passenger seats from 10 different buses at Lewis Bus Line, please call the police. Crime Stoppers at 800-222-TIPS, or text your tips to 803-441-8744, where you remain anonymous and get paid.
Augusta Crime Stoppers is brought to you by WBEK Channel 16 and Augusta Crime Stoppers. You too could be a crime stopper. If you have any information on any crime, call our tip line at 1-800-222-TIPS. Augusta Crime Stoppers is a production of Michael's Media. Augusta Crime Stoppers, where you stay anonymous. The criminals don't.